and gentlemen, welcome to CAWDaily. We have a special guest here today. But before we get started, a big shout out to GPW Wrestling, Grand Prix Wrestling, the official sponsor of CAWDaily. We have a couple topics we're going to be going over with Larz Wyld here today. You can follow GPW at GPW_live on Twitter. And let's get this thing underway. And our first guest today on the first ever show is Larz Wyld. Larz, say hi, buddy.
Hi, buddy.
All right, so I saw that coming. So why don't you tell us a little bit about your CAW and kind of your whole journey so far in the CAW community from start till now?
To introduce my CAW now, I'll have to actually start from my journey. My CAW, I've known about the CAW community ever since about Cyber Fan Day of 2015.
Okay, yeah.
My first official CAW was myself, obviously. The first name I had was Lawrence Daniels, because Daniel was my middle name. So I was a noob, but not the kind of spamming noob, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you see a lot of those on there. You do see a lot of people on there on Twitter. I think I saw an account the other day which literally added about 50 different federations asking to join.
Right?
Yeah.
But legit, yeah. Then in mid-January, I finally realized that, my name is generic.
Mm-hmm.
So I dropped the Daniels, I went to Wyld, and at that point I was my quote was I'm a wild guy in real life, and whenever I'm in a match, the match becomes wild itself.
I like it.
Yeah, my theme song was "Wish It Away" by Psychedelic.
Ah, yeah, okay, yeah, that's pretty appropriate. I'd say that's a pretty appropriate theme song.
Yeah, it had red stuff and everything.
Mm-hmm.
My finisher, I called it the RDK because at that point I also called myself the Modern Dragon of Wrestling. The RDK stood for the Righteous Dragon's Kill. Yep, that's how cheesy I was.
Hey, I mean, everyone starts somewhere, I guess. I mean, I'm sure there's people out there who have like worse kind of names for their finishers and things. So I think you did pretty good.
Yeah.
Like you say, you weren't like a noob. You were.
I was just.
You're all right.
I was just a little cheesy back then.
Yeah.
And after that, I met some good friends, Bullet Adams and Tom Doyle.
Mm-hmm.
We then decided they motivated me to make me do my own fed, which was called PWA.
All right.
Stood for Pro Wrestling Awesomeness.
So yeah, you were really good at these names then.
Yeah. I came up with that. I was doing good, but I had so much planned. I overwhelmed myself, so I had to kill the show. Yeah,
I think that's what happens with quite a few like people. They like see maybe they see FAM or whatever, like one of these big promotions, and they think, oh, I can do that, and then they go and do it, and they just it ends up being just a little bit too much.
No, mine was like EFED, like IIW or TAW.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it was like I had so much titles planned. I had so many CAWs made. I overwhelmed it for myself. PWA is actually when I won my first world title. So I had to retire as the only world heavyweight champion.
So yeah, I saw on your Twitter that you were a four-time world champion. So what was the other promotions that you were in to get those titles?
One was people aren't going to be happy about this, but before Ivan Maverick became Rachel Walker, he had a show called ZCW.
Okay, yeah.
Third one came from Bullets, then known as XBCW. After we did a 3 Degrees of Pain match, which, by the way, that was an awesome match. I'll get to that later.
Mm-hmm.
So, basically after that, we gained a little respect. He gave me a world title match, and I won.
All right,
just like that. Then the fourth one, that one came out of nowhere, because Bullet, he had to cancel RXW for this year, so playing some stuff without recording it, and apparently I won a world championship.
Okay.
I won the world title. So yep, there's my fourth belt.
Yeah. Four-time champion. That's pretty good. Pretty good. So yeah, what you said. You had a really good match. Who was that with, and where was it?
Bullet Adams. That
Uh,
was about it happened about August, but it started the feud really started in mid-May.
okay.
It's like basically at that point I was part of a faction known as a Straight Edge Revolution.
Okay, that's a pretty good name. Did you come up with that one, or was that someone else's doing?
Friend Mr. Killlot 365 came up with that name.
Okay, yeah.
His clan name's Tom Doyle, but yeah, I kind of became like the second in command because was in a faction with a friend I've known, was like my first friend in the community, so gotta help him when I can.
Yeah, for sure. You gotta help out your friends.
Bullet, in the pay-per-view, he forced me and Tom to face each other in a no-holds-barred match, so I complained about it, being a cocky heel. Then I manipulated Bullet into giving me a world championship match. Then we made it personal after a while. I called him out for being a coward, not having to hide behind his girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
So he changed it to 3 degrees of pain. Fired my sister from the company.
Wow.
Yeah, so a little bit of personal between back and forth.
Yeah, it sounds like it was a pretty good feud then. A lot of twists and turns if he was firing your sister.
Oh my gosh, the air was so thick you couldn't even cut it through a knife.
Yeah,
Yeah,
was this on Twitch, or was it on a YouTube video, or?
It was on YouTube. I'll leave a link at the bottom of the video when.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I can put that in the description for people to go and watch if they wanna go see that match. It sounds like a pretty good one. So.
Oh yeah, the 3 falls were falls count anywhere.
All right. Yeah.
Last man standing match. If necessary, a Hell in a Cell match.
Hey, I'm not gonna spoil it. We'll let the viewers find out if you got to that Hell in a Cell match then. Yeah, have you got any other things that you want to tell people about your core specifically before we move on to some more other stuff?
Well, it's not like it's not. Well, yeah, but and when I came into the SCR, I decided to change my wrestling style into strong style, and I targeted the arm.
Okay, yeah. I heard a couple things about the SER, but I wasn't really aware of them myself. But I have heard a couple things or two. I don't know if you want to address any of the stuff. I don't even know if you know about any of the stuff that's been said about the SER.
Yeah, some of that's my bad.
Yeah.
I tried to get some real members, so my friend Tom wouldn't have to make so many false members.
Mm-hmm.
Get the name out there. I got a little overzealous, and I recruited our peers, those our peers that
mm-hmm.
do cyber sex.
Yeah, no, I mean it's fair enough. Like if you're wanting to get new people, you know, and yeah, I guess yeah, we can move on from that. So
yeah,
let's go on to the next topic here. So obviously, been a lot of stuff happening over the last couple hours, well, 24 hours, 48 hours even, regarding a certain Rachel Walker. A couple things have been said, a couple of pictures have been posted in regards to of some chat logs. I just want to kind of get your whole opinion on, if Rachel, well, obviously Rachel's in the wrong, first of all. You shouldn't go out and, say that word directly to somebody. That's not good. But the community there's been a bit of a split over people protecting Rachel and also going fully against Rachel. I know Rachel's been kicked out of a couple of the companies now. So I just want to get your opinion on really the whole situation. I know it's a big question to ask because, I mean, where do you really start? But I just want to see what you have to say about that.
I've known Rachel Walker before she got that name. I've known her when he was Ivan Maverick, because I recruited when he was Ivan, that's when I recruited him into the SCR. He's said it quite a few times. I don't forgive him for that, but I respected the fact that he matured and moved on through that. I thought he was finally done with it, but he had to say it to my homeboy TJ Rave, and it's like, God damn it! It's like, dude, come on! I thought you were better than this.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really a thing you should do. Just like saying it directly to somebody, that's when it crosses the line. Really, for me personally, I know some people
Yeah.
outright just despise the word, but for me personally, when you're actually directly saying it to somebody, that's when you kind of cross the line and it becomes such a big deal. So do you think that like these federations that have kicked Rachel out have done the right thing here? Because some people have argued that Rachel shouldn't have been kicked out because it's not really anything to do with those promotions.
I understand why they would kick her out, because they don't want to have to be like called out for like, oh my gosh, they're letting a racist work for their company after what they said.
Yeah.
We should block them. We should not concern ourselves with it. So I get from that aspect why they wanted to, release her.
Mm-hmm.
But I've made a little rant on Twitter. People are treating it like it's the end of the world, which it's not.
Yeah.
People have done and said a lot of worse things in life that are a lot more important than what somebody says in the CAW community on Twitter. Like, there are a lot of worse things, and I'm sorry for saying this, but there are a lot of worse things happening, like Donald Trump about to cause World War III.
Yeah, I think there is. I think some of the backlash from the community, I think it has been exaggerated a bit. I mean, I understand their reaction to it, but I think some people are taking it a little bit too far in terms of like going out of their way to actually directly hate, like send messages, hateful messages, because you're just pretty much by doing that, you're just being as bad as the person who said that thing. Maybe
like you have nothing more important in life than to just say like, yeah, that happened, and you know what? It's not gonna ruin my life, but no, you gotta like, oh, I hate you now. I wanna give you death threats. Like,
yeah, that's
there's
not
stuff
good.
that's happened, like in Florida, which I'm not getting to, but
we'll find out when Rachel comes on the show. There's been already a bit of backlash over that on Twitter already, so that's going to be interesting. We'll get Rachel's thoughts.
Honestly, I think it's a good idea. It's like people want to know how Rachel's been feeling from it.
Exactly.
Like, whether people like Rachel or not, the episode 2 is gonna be worthwhile seeing.
Yeah,
don't mean to clickbait, but it is actually worth seeing because of all this quote unquote drama that's happened. Time to hear how the accused has been feeling about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's definitely going to be a good show. I mean, this is going to be a great show to watch. The first show, we got Larz Wyld.
Yeah.
So definitely.
Larz fucking Wyld.
Okay, yeah. So just let's move on to the next topic here. This is a question that I've asked quite a few people personally. And I know a lot of people have already started to talk about it a little bit, but do you think that the CAW community in any way needs to change, whether to progress more, or if there's something bad in the community that just needs to be absolutely cut out? Like, what do you think the CAW community needs to grow into a better community?
I honestly think that a few things need to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I think first off, people need to just simply grow the fuck up.
Okay, yeah.
They people get so upset over everything. It's like there's like I said, there's a lot of worse stuff happening. This is the CAW community. The CAW community is supposed to be a place for fun, not to treat everything like it's the end of the goddamn world.
And I think just to touch on that before you keep on going, I think sometimes people forget that. I think people get into these characters so much that they forget that they are just characters. I know, like
it's not life.
Yeah,
it's not your life.
There's a lot of worse things happening, and I do think people get I'm all for people get into character. If they want to be in character and stuff, that's fine. But sometimes people do just take it a little bit too far.
To the extent they take it, it's like, oh my gosh, people.
But anything else you think that the community can do? Anything that can bring them closer together?
I think commitment to shows would bring some people closer. There's been a lot of shows either due to drama or people flat out lazy and wanting people to do the work for them and them having everything handed to them on a silver platter. if you want your CAW to have as much glory as people like Cameron Bash or Black Heron, can't just sit on your ass and expect someone to do everything for you. You can't expect them to just make CAW. You can't expect them to give you the world title just because.
I think that's what a lot of people like when they start making their core and start getting into a character or make a new core, whatever. They think that like they deserve to just instantly be given stuff.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of stuff that goes into these shows and making the titles
like-
what they are,
Which is very, very moronic. I mean, look at Maxwell Verdi. The guy worked his ass off to get barely any views. Now he's recognized as the king of the indies. And you know what? I honestly think he deserves that title. He's been everywhere.
And on the topic of people like being everywhere, do you think that it's okay for people to kind of put their core into lots of shows? Like I'm talking, 10 plus. Do you think that's a good thing?
Yes and no. Yes, because it's like you're trying to get out there. I respect that. You're trying to get your name out. But at the same time, that's kind of overwhelming. Because imagine working for 10 sim shows like Future Wrestling or FAM. That is a lot of pressure, which probably no one is going to be able to overcome.
And I think as well, like sometimes people who put their cores into like multiple shows.
Yeah, like eFeds, I can understand. Like eFeds, they're easy to just say, "Oh, I want to be part of the show." Like you can just simply show up in the stream and put your call on CC.
Yeah, and then they're
that
in.
I would understand.
That's fine. Yeah, but like when they when they get into these proper shows, of editing stuff, people put time into doing stuff for that person's core, and then sometimes because they're in so many shows, they don't show up because there's another show happening.
Yeah.
And I guess that's the bad side of it, really. Before we just go into the closing thoughts, have you got any in-character call-outs you want to do to any cores you want to fight, or any federations you want to talk about?
Not really, but before I get to that, I just want to explain how I got my CAW to where it is now, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, we can do that.
Couldn't get to that point yet. Basically, after I changed the show from TAW to a show called ACW, I felt like it was time for a gimmick change. I felt like my CAW didn't even have a gimmick at all. I'm a big fan of strong style. Like I can't lie, I love that style.
I love it too. It's pretty good. It's pretty unique. Strong style is very unique. I like it.
Havoc's like one of my favorite strong style wrestlers out there because he doesn't give two flying Fs. So I came up with the nickname of the strong style killer. Like my cause does strong style in the ring, but he's legit willing to kill anyone for his own selfish desires.
That's definitely a pretty good gimmick.
So I changed completely to strong style. I ditched the target in the arm. So now I'm just completely strong style, and he's a homicidal psychopath.
And which federation or whatever are you currently?
So, 2K19. I'm gonna be in an RXW wrestling. That's Bullet Adams show. And right now, I'm signed to my friend Jay Wolf's show known as Exile Wrestling.
Have they got a Twitter you want to shout out?
Yeah, guys, go follow at Exile Wrestling and subscribe to the Exile Wrestling YouTube channel. We got a lot of good stuff planned, so I want you to tune in, and we are still looking for some new members. So the door's open, but not for long.
There you go, cool. So just some closing thoughts before we shut off here. Seems like you got a pretty good future, Larz, in the core community. A lot of stuff coming up for you then in 2019, but right now you got your friend's show to focus on, which is also pretty good, and hopefully you guys get some cores in there to really flesh out your roster. But yeah, I just want to thank you for coming on, being the first guest. I think it's pretty good, and we'll definitely have you on here again to check up on you.
I look forward to it, man. I look forward to it.
Yeah, man, it's been pretty good. Again, great opinions on everything we've talked about. So yeah, just thank you for coming on, Larz.
Oh, you're welcome, man. Thank you for having me here. It was good. It was good to express my feelings on here, and I hope the show lasts for a while. And for those of you who are going to be future guests, I beat you.
All right, thank you, Larz, buddy. I'll see you soon.
No problem.
Thank
you too.
There we have it, guys. Larz Wyld. Go follow him on Twitter. His is at LawrenceFish8, I believe that's his tag. I'll put it in the description. You can go follow him on Twitter. Go check him out. And there we go. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Next up, we have Rachel Walker coming on episode 2. I'm not sure when that'll be out, but it's definitely one you don't want to miss. A lot of drama around Rachel Walker, and you're not going to want to miss that one, guys. Thank you for watching, and always give your opinions in the comment section and any questions in the comment section.